Hello, it's Ronnie again to bitch about something. UA and their Bluetooth. Pedals are great. I have a lot of UA, a lot of plugins. I have an Apollo interface, a twin interface also, satellite. I got 2 PCI cards in the expansion chassis hooked up to my Mac Studio. I've invested a lot with UA and I like them. I use them. I like Luna too. I'm more of a Reaper guy, but I like Luna a lot. I was at home tracking without my Apollo stuff. I wasn't in my studio. I was at home putting some guitar parts down for a friend of mine's project. And I was using the Dream 65 into the aux, just tracking into an audio interface is what I have at home, and laying some stuff down. And then I wanted to save my settings. Now you can toggle the switch down, you know, and save. But if you want to go back to that setting or another setting, you kind of need the the tablet. Without that, you're kind of screwed. You know, like if you could dial on a couple sounds, even if you could select these switches to be one sound here, one sound there, put them on the pedal board, take it live, and that's your 2 sounds for this pedal. For if this is your Fender, maybe you have the Lion for a Marshall sound or the Ruby. But that's all you need to get to. But studio dudes, and I think there's plenty of out there, I don't care about accessing this stuff quite for live. I actually like having like a reverb on one and a delay on the other, or the vibrato or tremolo, whatever I mean, because I guess it's vibrato. But I like having those there just so I have a basic go-to sound, and if I just want to throw a quick verb on it or, you know, the vibrato effect, tremolo effect, I can do that. Same with the aux, I started doing that. Instead of worrying about switching cabinets, I don't really do that in the studio. I have one set for the delay internally and the reverb if I just want to have those quick step-on keys. Sometimes I still have to go inside and adjust the parameters for the song I'm working on, obviously. But it works with the iPad okay now. Like, it was having trouble with that too. It would lose connection a lot. That was frustrating enough when I first got these pedals, but I dealt with it. But now it started getting harder and harder to connect. And then I had a buddy here at the studio the other day who hasn't actually even seen these pedals, so I was just kind of demoing the pedals for him and showing him. And then I was going to show something on the tablet, and the tablet did connect, but it had some trouble. Forget about the phone. Android, I have an Android phone, it will not connect. It used to, and it actually did last night for a minute, but it lost connection and I can't get it connected again. Now, I actually do like using the iPad more than the phone because it's bigger and it actually, there's more to see in the parameter wise. I just can feel like the iPad's obviously easier. But I can't tell you how many times I've gotten to the studio and like, oh, if I got my tablet, because I don't need it for really anything else here in the studio. I don't have to have it, but I have to have it if I want to control these. And there's been times I've come here and I've been working and I'm using real amps on mic cabinets or something, but you get to a point and you want to use the Dream or you want to use the aux stomp with a real amp. I'm either going between that or a captor or miking real cabinets, but I can't get inside of it because the only thing I have with me, because I left my iPad at home, was a phone. And I had, like I said, I have other Android tablets, but I use them for mixing live. I don't want to put the software on there or anything. I feel like the phone, if I'm in an emergency and I just want to get into a preset and hit, it just won't connect. It drives me crazy. I'll try it again right now. Okay, so let's look at this real quick on my phone. If you can see it. I actually don't have this one powered up right now, the aux, but the Dream is powered up. It's lit up, you can see. But if I try to connect to the Dream, I keep getting this warning that to update, connect your pedal to the computer and USB for a firmware update. My pedals of both, I just did the newest firmware update that was supposed to help the Bluetooth connection. So, and it slows you up. If someone is standing here paying by the hour, doing whatever, and you want to, get to some things fast, here we go. I don't know, you probably can't read it, but it says reconnect your pedal, tap pedal tile again to retry the connection. I get that all the time. Now last night I actually got this to connect finally, but I've done everything. Powered off the pedal, restarted the phone, literally reinstalled the UA Connect. This app sucks. When it works, it's great, but who cares? Like, it needs to be consistent. I love these pedals. I think they sound great, but it's unusable if you can't get to it. I keep getting the same thing. And it actually seems worse with the Dream than the aux. I'm gonna try my iPad in a second. Let me just lay this here. But I've done the whole pairing thing over and over. It's like you shouldn't have to do this a million times. All right, so you can, I don't know if this shows up or not on the camera. The color might be a little bright. And I'm sure this didn't connect either. Reconnect your pedal, try again after completing these steps. Forget the pedal in your mobile. See, now it's telling me you're supposed to forget the pedal in your Bluetooth connection, power the pedal off, then on, press the, I mean, what a freaking vibe killer when you're trying to put a part down and you're like, okay, everything's cool, we got one more part to do, and then you want to change the sound, and you got to go through this for 20 freaking minutes. I mean, like I said, I'd rather work on the iPad, and that's completely fine. But if you don't have your iPad and you just quickly want to do something, so you grab your phone, see, it's actually connecting. That's how it should be. It didn't take that long. Maybe their Bluetooth connection thing, and again, it's all white screen, so you probably can't see it, but it did connect. Maybe it's working better for Apple than it is Android. I find it really ridiculous. Why didn't they do what 2Notes did with the Captor X? I have a Captor X sitting right behind this camera on the shelf where my amps are. I leave that tied to my Mac with USB. So if I'm running a head into it, I call up my 2Notes software and I can manipulate the sound how I want. If the aux, and I know not everybody's gonna use them live. They're gonna sit in the studios a lot, especially with line-only inputs. You're just gonna run things into them in your studio. Why wouldn't you make it to where we can put these things on a hub tied together into the computer and manipulate it that way and access it that way? Because at least if the phone wasn't working, we could use the computer. And I'm staring at a DAW for hours. So why wouldn't I just want to open up the software and dial in the sounds that I need? So when my buddy was here the other day and I was demoing these pedals, I kept seeing the warning saying, oh, it's gonna have a software update. And I was like, oh, I'll just skip through it. When I was home later and working on my buddy's tunes again, and I had these pedals with me, I actually paid attention to it then, and I saw it said, oh, Bluetooth fix. So I was like, oh, cool, maybe that's the problem. So I did the update, and I told another friend of mine, and he sent me links to forums where everybody's complaining about these too, so I'm not the only one. And people are really upset about it. And I'm sure UA knows about this. But so I do the fix. Some people are saying they did an update and it bricked their pedals. I'd really be pissed then. It did not brick my pedals. They still function. Everything's fine. But I just couldn't get inside of them. See, I keep getting this warning too. I don't know if you can see it, but it's telling me, hey, you might need a firmware update. I've done the firmware update. Everything's good to go. The Apple doesn't give me that warning. Now I'm trying to connect to the Dream right now. It's hard to see. The blue doesn't show up on the screen. The darker brown for the aux shows up on the screen, but it looks like it'll probably connect now because I'm on the camera live. I doubt it. This thing is so frustrating. Yeah, I mean, and it shouldn't even take this long. I mean, this is a vibe killer. Yeah, see, reconnect your pedal at the bottom. See there's a message down there that popped up. Tap pedal tile again and try to reconnect. I can't tell you how many times it does it. Or unpair, repair. I mean, I want to fucking take a sledgehammer to this shit. So, I'm gonna try the Dream here. And again, I don't know if you could see anything because of the, you know, it's washed out looking. Oh, see that one? That actually did something, and you can't see we're in it because it's a white screen. Let me go to factory settings. Yeah, I'm in. That's on the Dream, so it works on Apple. That's all I need. But the Android, I don't know what's up with Android. It won't connect. I've tried everything. I've rebooted the phone, did the whole Bluetooth. I mean, I know enough about this stuff and it just ain't connected. And like I said, I go online and other people are bitching too. So this isn't just me, but like, it's bad enough and it kills my vibe if I'm sitting there playing a guitar part and I'm like, you know, messing with knobs and I'm going to go do another layer and you go to change something and it locks you up. Next thing you know, you're screwing with this for 20 minutes. It's a vibe killer. It's a worse vibe killer when someone's standing here paying to be in your place and they're enjoying what's going on and they're liking the tones and they're enjoying the UA pedals. And then you go to save and do something and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, give me a second. And you're like futzing with this thing for like 20 minutes. They've forgotten the part that they wanted to lay down and they're probably sitting there thinking, am I paying for this 20 minutes of bullshit? This is crazy. So the aux is on now. So I'm gonna real quick, before I close out this video, I'm gonna try the aux. Maybe the aux connects better to the Android than the Dream. I feel like it's just hit or miss. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I could turn this camera off, reboot the phone, and it could work. Last night, I rebooted the phone, it wouldn't work. And then I did the unpairing and repairing, and then it did work. So I was like, okay, maybe that's what it was. But then a couple minutes later, it didn't work again. And then once it starts not working, then it just remembers, don't work ever again. Yeah, this shouldn't take this long. I mean, I'm already, let's say I have a customer standing here, I'm already talking and killing time watching this thing scroll back and forth, scrolling back and forth. Hey, look, it's bad when the phone starts to go dark, like the phone's been on too long. And it's still, I can see it scrolling across just in the reflection of the camera. Oh, I got a message. Reconnect your pedal. Piece of shit. Let's go to the iPad. Let's see if Apple does better than the Android. Maybe it's just my phone. Maybe you will tell me. I'm sure most companies like to say this, another person's product. Just like I know UA doesn't ever like to talk about Reaper. They hate Reaper. So if you call them with a problem with Reaper, they usually complain that you should use a real DAW. And I do. I use Luna. I mean, that's their DAW. So look, even on the iPad, it won't connect. It's got a message down here at the bottom, reconnect your pedal. So now it's not working with the iPad. I mean, I don't need it. It's just sitting here. And it's just money. It looks cool. I mean, I guess I don't have to use it in the studio all the time. I got the Capture X, and guess what? The Capture X works every time. If I go over here and I open up the Tune Notes software, it connects right away. You know why? Because it allows you to connect the software. Why didn't they make it to where, I mean, these are guys who make plugins. I mean, these pedals are plugins inside of a box. And they make good plugins in the box, and they connect with the Apollo stuff through the Thunderbolt. Great, that shit works amazingly. I like it. Why couldn't they make this tie to a computer so when you're a studio guy and you need to access it with a customer standing here, it would freaking work? It doesn't make any sense. So now it works. I got inside. So now I'm inside the aux. So it took a second time. At least that worked. Phone will not work. Anyway, anybody else have these kind of problems? Comment down below, or if you have a fix. I don't have a fix yet for the Android, so I just have to make sure I remember when I'm coming to the studio, bring your iPad, because you might have to get inside the aux or the Dream 65. Anyway, sorry about the bad vibes and the rant. And I like UA, I'm not trying to dog them, but I'm just dogging whoever designed their Bluetooth. It's get it together, please. It's terrible. Anyway, pedals sound great when they work. Other than that, talk to you next time. See ya.